Hello, hello. How are you? As you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. And I'm super excited to be here again on this series of the top 11 limiting beliefs. And it's been quite surprising with some of them how it feels when I'm even talking about them. And I would love to know how you feel as we're going through these limiting beliefs because they plague everyone from time to time. And that's just the nature of the beast, I guess you'd say. Let me pull this up and make sure that I am showing up where I'm supposed to. There we go. Hold on. Limiting beliefs of the beast. Hold on. Hold on just a second. All right. Perfect. It's interesting. I love to have this pulled up on my phone as well so that I can actually see when people show up because a lot of times it doesn't show and I like to know who I'm talking to. All right. So like I said, I'm excited to be here. My name is Vicki Poole, for those that don't know me, and I'm a master transformational coach and board certified hypnotist. And I'm actually your guide for releasing the beliefs that have quietly kept you operating at half power. Right now, we're on day 7 of this series, peeling back the layers of the top 11 limiting beliefs that quietly drive how we show up in love, money, success, and self-trust. And these aren't the loud, obvious ones either. They're the ones that hide behind our good intentions, our productivity, and our perfectionism. So today's belief is one I personally had to unlearn. It's one that wears a cape, looks like responsibility, and slowly eats away at our well-being. So let's go there. So limiting belief number 7, if I slow down, everything will fall apart. And this belief is sneaky because it often shows up as noble acts. You're the glue, the steady one, the one who always has a backup plan, the one who shows up even when you're running on empty. You might even take pride in that role until one day it doesn't feel like pride anymore. It starts to feel like pressure, like panic, and sheer exhaustion. And this belief tells you your worth is in how much you do, how much you can hold, and actually how little you need. And so you don't rest, you don't ask for help, and you don't allow yourself to stop, even when your body begs for it. And, there's a thing that I used to hear all the time. And it was kind of like when your body starts little tiny aches and pains, when you start having headaches, when you start having all these things, it's your body saying, pay attention, pay attention. And after a while, if you don't pay attention, that's when you get with the baseball bat, not literally, but with something big, something that you can't ignore. Maybe that's when you end up in the hospital. So there's different things that show up that are clues that you're doing this to yourself, that you're going through this, that this belief has hold of you, right? And your intuition actually whispers it. And your joy is nowhere to be found. So the hidden cost of this belief is pretty significant. You build a life based on holding it all together, right? Instead of building a life that can hold you. You actually forget how to receive, and you avoid stillness because it feels unsafe. And you create success, but it feels heavy because you never get to actually enjoy it. So just think about the people who work to make a lot of money, and they've got the nose to the grindstone kind of thing, right? And they are making money. They're doing the thing. However, they're so into the actual process of creating and making money that they forego their relationships, their health, their well-being, their spirituality, their body. I mean, everything, right? And you can't sustain that for very long. And over time, the thing that will fall apart if you slow down, and it just might be you. So, how do we get beyond this feeling, this belief? We need to, it would help to kind of shift our thinking a little bit about this. We've been believing that in order to be successful, in order to be fulfilled, that you have to have a business that looks like this. And it is maybe you're aspiring to be someone who has a big business, and you don't even notice that they're one of those people that don't have a life. That's all they have is a business and an income. So it's time to let's shift this identity, this feel just a little bit. And these shifts are not huge shifts, but they kind of help to put you in the place to make these changes, right? So one of the shifts is to realize that slowing down isn't laziness. There is great gifts, these epiphanies that come from slowing down and being quiet. I know I get some of the greatest epiphanies in my life and my business and everything when I go for a walk. It's like quieting the noise, and just walking out in nature creates so much. So give yourself the knowing that slowing down isn't laziness. It's actually leadership. It's nervous system intelligence. It's actually alignment in motion. So here's a powerful reframe if this is something that you've been having issues with, right? The version of me that receives with ease moves slower than the version of me that's constantly chasing. And if you think about constantly chasing, if you've ever owned a dog, you know that if they're there and you go to chase them, they're just going to run as fast as they can because they think it's a game, it's playtime. It's not that they need to stop and let you catch them, right? And our energy is the same when we are chasing success. It's elusive. And the more you do and keep going and going and going and going, you'll reach a pinnacle of what you're wanting, but it may not feel so good when you get there. So one of the shifts is to realize that you don't have to earn ease. You just have to believe you're safe to receive it. Because the truth is, Slowing down isn't dangerous. It's wise. Your capacity to pause is directly tied to your capacity to lead, to love, and to live well. So I want you to think about that for a moment. It's taking the time to just get quiet and see and feel what's there for you instead of constantly running and chasing, right? So instead of asking, what happens if I drop this? Ask, what happens if I don't? Because just because you slow down to get connected to what needs to be done or what's calling to be done doesn't mean everything's going to fall apart because you slowed down. It's actually the ability to move at a better pace, right? So just let that one sit. So, by the way, if this belief hit close to home, and I know it does for a lot of people, if it possibly made you just exhale or tear up or realize just how long you've been sprinting on a soul level, I've got a grounded next step. I'm opening a few decision reset sessions this week. And it's a 45-minute private session where we'll identify the belief or the internal conflict driving your burnout and reset it so that you can actually move forward with clarity, trust, and actual peace. And this is not just coaching. It's not a motivational speech. It's a guided experience that goes straight to the root of what's keeping you stuck in overfunctioning. The investment's only $149, and the transformation is often immediate. So I'm going to put a link in the comments, and you can grab that link if that's something that you feel led to do. There's the link. And just remember, you're not behind. You're just being called forward. And I will see you tomorrow for the limiting belief number 8. And I can't wait to share that one with you because each one of these limiting beliefs is a little tiny piece of a different way of looking at things. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. Just keep watching. I will see you tomorrow with session 8 in this series. And remember, life is delicious and you want to enjoy every single bite. Mwah.